With most of the videos on this channel so far, with the exception of the grab bag series, there's been a set theme, either a line I've focused on or maybe something operational. Well, today will be a little different. I was meeting with an old friend for lunch in Des Plaines. Meeting at noon, it gave me a little time to railfan before and especially after lunch. The plan is to focus in the Des Plaines area before lunch and then head to Franklin Park in the afternoon and maybe try to catch the beginning of the evening rush. So come along for the ride as we railfan the near northwest suburbs. Before lunch, I plan on hitting the UP Milwaukee sub right at control point N011, otherwise known as Norma, actual milepost 10.9. About a mile north at milepost 12 is DeVal, where the UP Milwaukee sub, UP Harvard sub, and CN Waukesha subs all cross each other. Almost all CN traffic through DeVal consists of the random local and Metro's North Central service that only runs during rush hour, and the vast majority of traffic on the Harvard sub is the Metro UP Northwest line, so we'll probably be focusing on the freight-only UP Milwaukee sub. In addition to Milwaukee-bound UP freights to and from Proviso, this line sees CP trains to and from Bensonville running via trackage rights between Bryn Mawr, CP-N008, and Shermer, CP-N018. Virtually all CP traffic to Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and Canada use this much shorter routing instead of taking the Elgin sub to the CNM sub at Tower A5. The Milwaukee sub is not actually CTC controlled. By the rulebook, it is double-track signaled for left-hand operation with occasional control points. Because of this, you'll often hear CP trains coming out of Bensonville picking up Form C track bulletins to run against the current of traffic under G-Core Rule 15.3. The day before I went, Tuesday, the UP Northeast dispatcher was issuing a ton of Form Cs under this rule because one of the mains was shut down for tie replacement. I can only hope it's that busy the day after. The morning of, I wake up and sure enough, the track work continues, although it looks like today they've got track 2 shut down. It doesn't seem to be too busy today, so I aim to arrive trackside around 10 and just hope for the best. It's a gorgeous day, mid-80s forecasted, somewhat moderate humidity, and nothing but puffy white clouds in the sky. Considering the lack of traffic, I briefly consider skipping the Milwaukee sub entirely and just going to Franklin Park both before and after lunch, but I want to try and get something on the Milwaukee sub, so we'll at least take a stab at it. It's too late for morning rush hour on any of the Metro lines, so that's out. Our spot is immediately north of the southbound absolutes at Norma. Notice Main 1 doesn't have a full signal, and the WISE signal has a begin ABS sign on it. The connector itself here is actually dark territory. Most of the regularly scheduled traffic on the Milwaukee sub is CP, and this is no exception. When I arrive, there's a northbound train 641, potash empties, headed from Bensonville to Saskatchewan, waiting at Bryn Mawr about 3 miles south. It picks up the Form C to run the wrong way.
Dispatcher with ECN 3160.
CN 3160, go ahead.
Got a Form C for you to copy, wrong main from Bryn Mawr to Shermer, track 2, when you're ready.
Copy.
Got a Form C 65801. 65801 on the Milwaukee sub. Reads the CN 3160 north. We use main track number 2. That's against the current of traffic from control point N008 to control point N018 in 018, governed by G-Core Rule 15.3, 15.3, over.
Form C number 65801, 65801 on the Milwaukee sub. To the CN 3160 north, main track 2 against flow of traffic. To N008 to N018, governed by G-Core Rule 15.30.
That is correct. Through 65801, OK time of 10:12 in DM, over.
November Delta Mike NDM. That'll be copied by Conductor Gorman.
That's correct. The southbound CP train's clearing at Bryn Mawr. I'll have a local northbound that'll go 1-to-1 real quick here, and then you'll get signal indication to go 1 to 2 at Bryn Mawr. If you want to start pulling it up to 2E when you get that, and I will call you with a window to be able to keep you going for DeVal, over.
All right, wait for one, and we'll look for signal indication 1 or 2. Look for a window after that.
Correct. Thank you, sir. John.
Note that it has CN power in the lead. Interesting. The local the dispatcher is talking about is LPR 51, which runs out of Proviso and I believe works, among other things, the industries on the west edge of O'Hare Airport. After it clears Bryn Mawr, 641 rolls north towards Toohey Avenue and eventually makes it to us. It picks up clearance through the work zone at Deval.
Overall to the CN 3160, over.
3160, go ahead, Foreman overall.
This is Foreman overall, gang 9075, using Form B track bulletin number 65159, line 1, all tracks between milepost 12.1 and milepost 20.25. CN 3160 north, you do have permission to pass that red board located at milepost 12.1 without stopping and proceed through the limits. Maximum authorized speed with one exception. Do not exceed 25 mph between milepost 13.25 and milepost 15.5. Bell and whistle approaching passing men equipment, over.
Can you see your report CB1? Okay, showing is NBM CHJ of the 10, and what was your key status? Milepost 15.5, Bell whistle approach passing men equipment, over.
Meanwhile, another CP is coming north from Tower B17 to Bryn Mawr. This time it's Bensonville to Roberts Bank, British Columbia, Intermodal and Automotive 149, although it identifies at first using what I think is the UP equivalent symbol.
Dispatcher, where are you, Storm?
CP8776, train symbol MBMCHJ10, approaching Bryn Mawr. We are not a key train on CP1, over.
What's your TCS number, over?
TS number 5557.
And you said you were coming up CB1?
Correct.
Okay, showing is an MBM CHJ of the 10th, and what was your key train status?
A key, over.
Not a key train, alright. Up to Bryn Mawr for now, and I'm working on a Form C for you to wrong main. Give me just a second here, and I will have that ready for you. If you want to get prepared to copy, just let me know.
Prepared to copy.
It'll hold at Bryn Mawr for a little while. It eventually gets the signal indication and also pulls north.
Dispatch northeast, CP 8776, over.
8776 responding.
Okay, signal location, Deval, figure 1110, do your best, clear by 1130, over.
1110, clear by 1130.
That's correct, signal location, track 2 north.
I also hear UP 815 talking about coming south from the small coach yard at Deval, and by the time 149 cleared, I only had about 15 minutes to play with.
Dispatch northeast, UP 815, over.
5, go ahead.
They're ready for you. We're going to take you south into the outbound. Ready for authority out at the coach yard to run south.
Ready when you are.
UP 815, the coach yard, you have authority in our main track number 1, proceed south, over.
I saw on ATCS monitor that 815 had been given a signal here at Norma and would be going track 1 to 2 at the crossover. I actually couldn't see what the signal on 1 was, but the camera could. Flashing red, restricting. Eventually, 815 comes around the corner from Deval. It was running light engine back to Proviso.
Alright, it's going to be Form C, 65914. 65914. It's UP 8740. North. You will use main track number 2. That's against the current traffic from control point 0 control point 021. 021.
After lunch, I headed down to Franklin Park. Most videos you'll see from here are from the train station, but I don't prefer the spot for a few reasons. The fence at the park where Tower B12 was relocated is annoying, but I feel much less likely to be harassed by bored police or an overzealous conductor here. Plus, I didn't want to pay for parking. In addition to the tower at the park, there's an old Milwaukee Road caboose. As I was getting my cameras out of the truck, I missed eastbound Metro 2236 at 110. This wouldn't be that sad of news, except the next Metro is at 208, meaning there could potentially be an hour of nothing to look at if CP wasn't running anything. Luckily, this wasn't the case. What I like about Franklin Park is you can see signals in both directions easily. It's also available on ATCS monitor. Franklin Park West as a control point is fairly new. Around 132, I see that something has been given a restricting signal to the yard leads. About 5 minutes later, there it is. Coming up to Tower B12 is CPG33. Hi, Future Tyler here. A little correction. First of all Chicago region locals have apparently changed from G prefixes to I, so this train would actually be I-33 instead of G-33. Also, it isn't either of those. I-33 runs from Bensonville to Schiller Park, I-34 runs back. This train was also none of the above. It was actually referred to as IY on the radio, I believe IY11, formerly GY11. The track work to the west made listening to the radio an absolute nightmare, so it was hard to figure out what was actually going on. That's also why there's no radio audio for this part. So from here on, replace any G's and symbols with I's. Thanks, and back to the video. G33 has backed out of Schiller Park Intermodal Yard on the CN Waukesha sub and now pulls towards Bensonville. Its only job is to move containers between the two. Meanwhile, the morons are out in full force today. Quick note here, there's camera shake on a lot of the video from here. It's not because I was holding the camera, that's just because the ground was shaking. G33 clears and more morons come out. Seriously, it's not hard to wait the extra 10 seconds for the lights to stop flashing. I venture back to my truck to check my computer and see that there was another request from the east. It would end up being after 2 when this signal would actually be given, another restricting to the yard leads, and a diverging clear over on Main 1. The restricting is for CPG 59 from Clearing Yard on the Belt Railway of Chicago, and the diverging clear is for outbound Metro 2219. 2219, which is moving much faster, pulls in first at 208. It gets out of Franklin Park before G59 even starts covering crossings. Once G59 clears my position around 220, I check ATCS monitor again and don't see anything from either direction. It was getting quite hot and I was feeling it a little bit, so I packed up and headed home. The air in my truck doesn't work, so I didn't need to chance a bigger heat-related problem later. I was considering detouring if I heard 253 leaving Bensonville, but I didn't, so I just went home. I did take the scenic route though, seeing this UP southbound waiting on the Milwaukee sub just south of O'Hare. One of these days I'll head back to Franklin Park again for the evening rush. I very much enjoyed my newfound spot on the Milwaukee sub, actually a community center. I will almost definitely be back there. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me. If you want more videos like this, then hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at NEIL Railfan and read my blog at thenortheasternillinoisrailfan.wordpress.com. Our next video will be celebrating the first birthday of this channel, but until then, stay safe, don't cross the tracks if the lights are still flashing, and thank you for watching the Northeastern Illinois Railfan YouTube channel.